Every morning, before the world starts pulling you in 100 different directions, before doubts creep in and distractions take over, you've got to look in the mirror and remind yourself of who you are and where you're going. Because if you don't own your story, someone else will write it for you. And that is not an option. The first thing you tell yourself, I am in control of my life. No one else decides what I become. No boss, no critic, no past mistake. My choices shape my destiny. I refuse to be a passenger in my own journey. Next, I am stronger than my struggles. Life will throw punches, but I hit back harder. Every challenge is a test, and I don't crumble, I rise. My struggles don't define me, my response to them does. And let's set the record straight. I deserve success and happiness. No more self-doubt, no more apologizing for wanting more. I don't need permission to chase my dreams. I was born to thrive, not just survive. Comfort zones, not for me. I choose growth over comfort. The easy road leads nowhere. I embrace discomfort because that's where my next level lives. Growth is a choice, and I choose it daily. Gratitude, it's my power source. I am grateful for every moment, even the tough ones, because they teach me, they strengthen me. Gratitude shifts my focus from what's missing to what's possible. I don't sit around waiting. I make things happen. I attract opportunities through action. Luck is just preparation meeting the right moment, and I am always ready. Success is not found, it's created. Fear, it's there, but it doesn't control me. I will not let fear hold me back. Fear is nothing but a story I tell myself, and today I rewrite that story. I act despite fear, not in its absence. And here's the truth. I am enough, and I keep getting better. Perfection is a myth. Progress is the goal. I'm not in competition with anyone except the person I was yesterday. Most important truth, I have unlimited potential. My dreams have no ceiling. My future has no limits. The only barrier is my belief, and I choose to believe in myself every single day. Now it's time to own the day, to walk out that door with power, confidence, and an unshakable mindset. Because today is not just another day, it's another opportunity to move closer to the life I deserve. Let's get one thing straight right now. You are in control of your life. Not your past, not your circumstances, not the opinions of others. You. Every single day you are making choices that shape your future, whether you realize it or not. The question is, are you making those choices with intention, or are you just reacting to what life throws at you? Too many people wake up and go through their day like they're on autopilot. They hit snooze, drag themselves out of bed, scroll mindlessly through their phone, and let the world dictate how they feel. They blame their job, their upbringing, the economy, or some past failure for where they are. But here's the truth. Nothing changes until you take ownership. The second you realize that you, and only you, are responsible for your life, everything shifts. That doesn't mean life won't throw you curveballs. It will. That doesn't mean you won't face challenges. You will. But it does mean that you have the power to decide how you respond. And in that response, in that decision, is where your power lies. Think about it. Every successful person you admire, every high achiever, every game changer, they weren't handed an easy road. They didn't sit around waiting for someone to come rescue them. They made a choice to show up, a choice to push through, a choice to take responsibility for where they were and where they wanted to be. And if they can do it, so can you. Now, I get it. Some of you might be thinking, but you don't understand my situation. I've been through things. I've had setbacks. Listen to me. Every single person has a story. Everyone has faced pain, doubt, and fear. But the difference between those who succeed and those who stay stuck is the decision to own their life instead of making excuses. You can't control everything that happens to you, but you can control what you do next. You can control how you show up. You can control your mindset, your energy, your effort. And when you start focusing on what you can control instead of what you can't, you take your power back. Think about the most successful people in the world. Do you think they never faced rejection, never had doubts, never failed? Of course they did. But they didn't let those moments define them. They decided that no matter what happened, they were going to take responsibility for their own success. If you want more out of life, you have to stop waiting for permission. Stop waiting for someone to come save you. Stop waiting for the perfect time. There is no perfect time. There is only right now. And right now, you have a decision to make. Do you take control of your life, or do you keep handing that control over to excuses, fear, and circumstances? It's time to stop living like life is happening to you and start living like life is happening for you. Because the second you shift from a victim mentality to an ownership mentality, everything changes. You stop blaming, you stop complaining, you stop looking for external validation, and instead you start focusing on what matters: your actions, your growth, your future. You want a better job? Go develop the skills that make you undeniable. You want better relationships? Start being the kind of person that attracts what you desire. You want more success? Stop talking about it and start executing. Because the reality is, no one is coming to do it for you. And that is the best news possible, because it means you don't have to wait. You don't have to ask permission. You don't have to hope that one day things magically change. You are in the driver's seat, and yeah, maybe you've taken a few wrong turns. Maybe you've crashed a few times. That's fine. That's life. But you are still in control of the wheel. So what are you going to do with that control? Keep going in circles, keep making excuses, or step up, take responsibility, and move forward with power, confidence, and absolute certainty that your best days are ahead. This is your life, no one else's. And if you don't own it, someone else will. So starting today, you decide, you commit, you take control, and you never ever give that power away again. Life is going to test you. It's going to push you, challenge you, and at times it's going to make you question whether you have what it takes. But let me tell you something. You are stronger than your struggles. You are not your pain. You are not your failures. You are not the mistakes you've made or the obstacles in front of you. You are something far greater. Because here's the truth. Struggle isn't here to break you. It's here to build you. And every single challenge you face is an opportunity to grow, an opportunity to rise, an opportunity to prove to yourself what you're really made of. And the only difference between the people who succeed and the people who stay stuck is how they respond to those challenges. Most people see struggle as a stop sign. They hit a wall and they tell themselves, this is it. I can't go any further, and they give up. But the people who win in life, they see struggle as a stepping stone. They know that every tough moment, every failure, every setback is just another lesson, preparing them for what's next. Think about the strongest people you know, the most resilient, the most unstoppable. They didn't get that way because life was easy. They got that way because they were forged in the fire of adversity. They were tested, and instead of backing down, they chose to fight. They chose to push forward. And that's what you have to do. Because the truth is, you have survived every single tough day you've ever had. Think about that for a second. Every time you thought you wouldn't make it, every time you thought you were done, you weren't. You're still here. You're still standing. And that means you are stronger than you realize. That means there is nothing life can throw at you that you can't handle. And yeah, I get it. Sometimes it feels like too much. Sometimes the weight of it all makes you want to quit. But that's when you have to remind yourself why you started. That's when you have to dig deep and remember that on the other side of this struggle is the breakthrough you've been waiting for. Pain is temporary, struggle is temporary, but the strength, the resilience, the confidence you gain from pushing through, that lasts forever. That becomes a part of who you are. And the next time life tests you, you won't break, you'll rise. So when the struggle comes, and it will, you don't back down. You don't let it define you. You don't let it stop you. Instead, you stand up, you face it head on, and you remind yourself, I am stronger than this. I was built for this. And nothing, not pain, not failure, not fear, is going to stop me from becoming who I was meant to be. You deserve success. You deserve happiness. And I don't just mean that in some feel-good motivational way. I mean it as an undeniable fact. But here's the problem. Too many people walk through life questioning their own worth. They hold themselves back, play small, and convince themselves that they're not good enough. They listen to the wrong voices, the ones that tell them they don't deserve more, that they should settle, that they should be grateful for what they have and stop wanting more. Let me tell you something. There is nothing wrong with wanting more. There is nothing wrong with looking around at your life and saying, I can do better, I deserve better, because you do. And the only thing standing between you and the life you truly want is your own belief in what you deserve. People who succeed in life don't succeed because they got lucky. They don't succeed because someone handed them an easy road. They succeed because they decided, not hoped, not wished, but decided that they were worthy of success. They believed in themselves before anyone else did. And that belief shaped their actions, their mindset, their entire existence. Because that's how it works. Your beliefs create your reality. If you walk around believing you're not enough, that's exactly what your life will reflect back to you. But if you decide right now that you are worthy, that you are capable, that success and happiness are yours to claim, everything starts to shift. Think about it. How many times have you held yourself back because of doubt? How many times have you talked yourself out of going after something because you convinced yourself you weren't ready, you weren't good enough, you didn't deserve it yet? And yet someone else, someone with less talent, less skill, less drive, went for it and got it, not because they were better than you, but because they believed they deserved it. You've got to stop waiting for permission. No one is going to come along and tell you, hey, you're good enough now, go for it. That moment isn't coming. The only person who can decide that is you. And the second you do, the second you own it, you'll start seeing opportunities you never noticed before. You'll start showing up differently. You'll start taking action in a way that makes success inevitable. So enough with the doubts, enough with the excuses, enough with letting old stories dictate what you think you're allowed to have in this life. You deserve success. You deserve happiness. You deserve everything you are willing to work for. And the only thing left to do now is own it and go after it like your life depends on it, because it does. Comfort is the enemy of growth. Every time you choose what's easy, what's familiar, what's safe, you rob yourself of the chance to become something more, because real success, real transformation doesn't happen in the comfort zone. It happens when you push yourself, when you stretch beyond what feels easy, when you willingly step into the unknown and decide to rise. Most people spend their entire lives avoiding discomfort. They settle into routines, stay in jobs they hate, stay in relationships that drain them, hold on to beliefs that keep them stuck, all because it's comfortable. And the worst part, they convince themselves that this is just how life is, that they should be grateful for what they have, that wanting more is risky, that change is scary. But the truth? The life you want is waiting for you just outside of that comfort zone. And the only thing standing in the way is your willingness to step into it. Growth isn't supposed to feel good. It's supposed to challenge you. It's supposed to make you uncomfortable. That feeling of doubt, of fear, of uncertainty, that's not a sign to stop. It's a sign that you're on the right path, because every time you push through that discomfort, you're becoming stronger. You're developing skills, resilience, confidence. And every time you choose comfort over growth, you weaken that muscle. Think about the most successful people you know. Do you think they got there by doing what was easy? No. They got there because they were willing to do what most people won't. They took the risks. They had the hard conversations. They showed up even when they didn't feel like it. They leaned into the discomfort because they knew that's where their next level was. So ask yourself, where have you been choosing comfort over growth? Where have you been playing small because stepping up feels scary? Maybe it's going after that job you know you're capable of, but you keep talking yourself out of it. Maybe it's launching that business, starting that project, making that move you've been dreaming about, but fear keeps stopping you. Maybe it's simply speaking up, standing in your power, refusing to settle for less than you deserve. Whatever it is, you have a choice. You can stay where you are in the safety of what you know, or you can take a step forward into the unknown and trust that you will figure it out, because you will. You always have. The only way to grow is to embrace the discomfort, to stop seeing fear as a stop sign and start seeing it as a signal that you're moving in the right direction. So step up, lean in, choose growth over comfort every single time, and watch how fast your life starts to change. Gratitude is power. It's the fuel that keeps you moving, the mindset that shifts everything. And yet most people go through life focusing on what they don't have, what's missing, what's wrong. They wake up thinking about their problems, their struggles, their frustrations, and then they wonder why they feel stuck, why they feel drained, why nothing ever seems to change. But here's the truth. What you focus on expands. If you focus on what's wrong, you'll find more of it. But if you start focusing on what's right, on what you have, on what's possible, everything starts to shift. Gratitude isn't just some nice idea. It's not just about writing a few things down in a journal and calling it a day. It's a way of life. It's a decision to stop living in lack and start living in abundance. Because no matter where you are right now, no matter what challenges you're facing, you have something to be grateful for. Maybe it's your health. Maybe it's the people in your life. Maybe it's the simple fact that you woke up this morning, that you have another shot, another opportunity to get it right. Because let's be real, someone out there would give anything to have what you take for granted. And the moment you realize that, the moment you start appreciating what you have instead of constantly chasing what's next, you start to feel a shift. You start to feel lighter, more energized, more unstoppable, because gratitude isn't passive, it's fuel. It gives you strength, it gives you perspective, it reminds you why you're doing this in the first place. People think they need to wait until they're successful to feel grateful, but that's backward. You don't get grateful after success, you get successful after gratitude. Because when you operate from a place of gratitude, you stop seeing obstacles as roadblocks and start seeing them as opportunities. You stop focusing on what's missing and start recognizing the resources, the connections, the chances that are already in front of you. Think about it. When was the last time you truly stopped and appreciated how far you've come, how much you've already overcome, the things you once dreamed about that you now have in your life? It's so easy to get caught up in the grind, to always be chasing the next level, the next goal, the next win. But if you don't stop and appreciate where you are, what's the point? So right now, make the decision. Shift your focus. Instead of waking up thinking about what you lack, start thinking about what you have. Instead of focusing on what's not working, focus on what is. Because gratitude isn't just about feeling good. It's about unlocking the energy, the mindset, the momentum to create even more. When you live in gratitude, you don't just see life differently, you start living differently, and that changes everything. The people you surround yourself with will either lift you higher or pull you down. There's no in between. Every conversation you have, every relationship you invest in, every person you allow into your space is shaping your mindset, your energy, your future. And the truth is, most people never stop to evaluate whether the people in their lives are pushing them forward or holding them back. Look around. Who do you spend the most time with? Are they people who challenge you, who inspire you, who make you want to be better? Or are they people who drain you, who fill your mind with doubt, who make excuses for why life isn't working out for them? Because whether you realize it or not, their mindset is rubbing off on you, their habits, their beliefs, their energy. It's all shaping the way you think and act. Success leaves clues. If you want to grow, if you want to level up, you need to surround yourself with people who are already where you want to be, people who think bigger, push harder, expect more, because when you're in the right environment, your standards rise automatically. You start to see what's possible. You start to believe in yourself at a level you never have before. But that also means you need to be willing to walk away from the relationships that no longer serve you. And that's tough, because sometimes the people holding you back are the ones you've known the longest. Sometimes they're family, old friends, people who mean well but just don't see the vision you have for your life. And that's okay. You don't have to hate them. You don't have to cut them out completely, but you do have to set boundaries. You do have to decide that your future is more important than their approval. Because at the end of the day, you become who you surround yourself with. So if you want to go further, if you want to break through, if you want to become the absolute best version of yourself, then be intentional about who you let into your life. Choose to spend your time with people who challenge you, who hold you to a higher standard, who remind you every day of what's possible. Because when you elevate your circle, you elevate your life. And that changes everything. Fear is always going to be there. It's wired into your brain, designed to keep you safe, to keep you from taking risks, from stepping into